Congratulations to St. Anne's Academy Track and Field team. They won several individual and team events at Track Fest 2019 held at the Memorial Fieldhouse this past weekend. Congratulations to all those who won awards at the Val High Athletic Awards event last week. Junior Female Athlete of the Year, Emma Kelly. Junior Male Athlete of the Year, Brady Judge. Senior Female Athlete of the Year, Lauren Kelly, Robin Cullinan. And Senior Male Athlete of the Year, Owen Edison. Congratulations to all. Congratulations to Ava Land, grade 5 student at St. Anne's Academy, on being selected as a runner-up on the Meaning of Home contest in support of Habitat for Humanity, Newfoundland. Ava's entry was selected amongst the thousands submitted this year across Canada. As a grade 5 runner-up, Ava has won a $5,000 grant to direct towards a Habitat for Humanity Newfoundland bill. She'll receive a tablet and a pizza party for her class. Congratulations, Ava. Also, congratulations to Anne Whalen, originally from Jersey Side, recipient of a recent Red Cross Humanitarian Award. Anne's Seafair Cattle Group of Companies provides care for hundreds of people among the most vulnerable populations in Newfoundland and Labrador, including seniors, children, youth, and those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Congratulations, Anne. Well done indeed. Now ask for a motion to adopt the agenda, June 18, 2019. Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Fitzpatrick. All in favour? Motion carried. The minutes of May the 21st, 2019. Is there any errors or omissions? Hearing no errors or omissions, I ask for a motion to adopt the minutes dated May 21st, 2019. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second Councillor Collins Power. All in favour? Motion carried. So business arising. Any business arising from the minutes? Hearing none. The action sheet. Any questions on the action sheet? Excuse me. Any questions? We'll move on to new business. Some items of new business. First, council approved payment to a preferred supplier, CBS Rental Limited, in the amount of $12,782.25 for the purchase of a wood chipper. $10,000 of the total cost will be reimbursed to the town of Placentia from the Multi-Material Stewardship Board in 2 installments of $5,000. The first installment has already been received, and the second installment will be received pending the purchase of the equipment and the claim submitted to MMSB. The town will have to pay the remaining $2,782.25. Thank you, staff, for initiating this request and getting MMSB as a partner in the purchase of the equipment. So I ask for a motion to approve. Moved by Councillor Hines, second by Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Next, there's been changes to our gas tax. Government has changed the gas tax, and in 2019, 2020, the amounts have changed. I believe they've almost doubled for 2019-20. We need a new motion to accept, and I ask to be resolved that the motion to approve the funding from the gas tax agreement as per the revised schedule received June 7, 2019 from the Department of Municipal Affairs and Environment for the period 2019 to 2024 in the amount of $981,717 be adopted. Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Following new business, move on to committee reports. First committee report is the Executive Committee. The Executive Committee met June 12, 2019. In attendance myself as chair, Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Councillor Kay Smith, Mary Green, acting CAO, and Rhonda Power, recording. The Executive Committee recommends the Council approve the appointment of a Public Works Superintendent and Manager of Tourism, Marketing and Communications to assume the duties of Manager of Recreation and Community Programming during the period June 21st to September 3rd, 2019. Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Further down, there was some discussion through the minutes on severance and the severance pay outlining management and non-union employees. Council has been taking a position, same as the government has done in the past, to offer severance to employees as a one-time to eliminate the severance. The town of Placentia has a special account set up for a severance account, and the executive is recommending that we ask for a motion to offer one-time payout to all eligible management and non-union employees their severance pay accumulated to end of this fiscal year, with an agreement that upon acceptance there will be no further severance entitlement. Moved by Deputy Mayor, second, Councillor Hines. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor, what's the maximum payout?
The maximum payout, I believe there's approximately 120,000 in the account and approximately $50,000. And let's realize that this is management agreements without getting into specifics. This is management agreements that are entitlements to the employees, and as you know, the provincial government has done, this accumulates year for year, that it has a burden onto the taxpayers year for year. This is an acceptance of the agreement that there will be no further future entitlements, so the severance will now be expired.
Is there a maximum payout per year?
As per the contract of the severance contract.
Okay.
Councillor Fitzpatrick.
With respect to severance, is it for every year that they've been employed, or is there conditions attached?
There is conditions attached to it.
So I know that, I think the severance period is 9 years, where they're entitled to it.
Yes.
So if somebody has 2 years or 3 years, they're not
eligible, and if they have a contract, their contract will still continue on. But again, it's going to eliminate a portion of this burden on the taxpayers.
Because I know with provincial government, they offered it to everybody.
Yes. Okay. I think most people are going to be considered this.
One question. It says non-union. Is there non-union people that would qualify?
Yes.
Or is one not?
Yes.
It's in their contract.
Our executive assistant.
Okay.
So has the executive discussed having that available to those that aren't in the 9 years? If they're below the 9 years?
No, not this, because it has been considered, and this was just done based on discussion with management. Any further questions?
Do we know how many employees are impacted that wouldn't qualify for the 9 years?
I think one employee, but again, that one employee will continue to receive severance, right, as outlined in the employment contract. If it was something that was negotiated on employment, we can't change that unless the employee agreed to change it themselves. It's the policy.
So, excuse my ignorance, but the only people that are eligible with pay out anyone who is still accumulating.
Yes. Will still accumulate, right?
And then you got further hard and not get.
And that is the motion to offer a one-time payout to all eligible management and non-unionized employees. And this was based on recommendations with management.
And they're correct, any new hires now will not be eligible for any severance pay, correct?
There will be no severance offered to new management non-union employees.
So if it's only one individual, would there be consideration of including that individual in the payout option?
You know, I think just if the motion is there now is this, that would be another motion. I'd ask that, you know, that the council, the executive could go back and review that and bring it further to the council for discussion. But now for the motion that's on the table, we'll ask for the question on the table. Any further questions? All in favor? Those against? Motion carried. Thank you. There is no other further recommendations from the executive committee. Other than that, I'll just add here, attended the date of July 6th to the 7th for strategic session of all council to review the town operations, followed by a discussion with management. And I would suggest that everybody get a copy of management studies that were performed by the town of Zetchen and review for this meeting in July.
What's the date again, July?
July the 6th or the 7th, and we'd ask that we ask that, pending on availabilities, everybody will, the date will be determined July 6th or 7th. Now move on to the Finance Committee report.
Okay, Finance Committee met on July the 11th, and I was in attendance as chair, along with Councillor Jamie Fitzpatrick and Deputy Mayor Keith Pearce. Mary Green, as Manager of Finance, was there, along with Catherine Smith as Recorder. Finance Committee made the following recommendations. The Council approved the accounts payable transaction journal dated June the 10th, 2019, in the amount of $19,911.90.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved the check register for the operating account in the amount of $87,457.25 for checks numbered 0227482 to 027819.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved the special accounts check register for the month of June 2019.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any question? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved the visa statement expenditure for the period of April 30th to May the 27th, 2019, totaling $211.86.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved the tax adjustment for account number TRABM006 in the amount of $119.62. The house was removed from the property in 2014. However, a new property reassessment was not completed.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved to contribute $1,000 to the Royal Canadian Legion's Veterans Affairs sponsored project to restore Courthouse Gum Black as budgeted.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved $600 from equipment upgrades to repair the clockboard at the Dungle Ball Field as budgeted.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The Council approved to release $5,000 to the Freshwater Community Centre to complete upgrades to the freshwater playground as budgeted from Parks and Playgrounds.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. That's the recommendations for the Finance Committee.
What about the wayfinding? There's something here on the wayfinding. Can you look underneath there?
Yeah.
We should make that motion.
Is it coming from the Culture and Tourism?
Yeah.
Is the motion going to be in the Culture and Tourism report?
No.
Okay, so we'll deal with that
Oh, on
then.
that one?
We'll deal with that report.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on from the Finance Committee report next to the Public Works Committee report. Deputy Mayor.
Public Works met on June the 12th. In attendance was myself, Chair, Councillor Collins, and Councillor Hines was absent due to commitments, and she actually followed up the next day to go through things and any questions or comments. She sent it out beforehand that we could pass it on. Staff members were Mr. Green, Public Works Superintendent, and Ms. Duke was recording. The Public Works Committee made the following recommendations. Council approved the application for William Hatfield to construct a shed at 12 Lockers Road Drive, Placentia. PWS will certify the placement of the shed. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Second, Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Apologize, I looked over my dress.
Council approved the application for John Green to construct a fence at 1315 Battery Road, Jersey-Side. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Gerard McHugh to construct a shed at 1297 Main Road, Dunville. Public Works Supervisor will verify placement of the shed. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Smith. Any questions?
I have one question. Is this we had a public input session a while, or community consultation a while ago. There was discussion about a path leading up to the lower road. Is this the property that was discussed? Like, this shed is not going to impact that old walkway? That's not the same property?
No, they would not be able to construct on that because that is a railway. We wouldn't allow that, correct? Yes, so that does not affect that. We would not allow that to happen.
Can we ensure it as well that, it's outlined, that the walkway is outlined by Council Power is not affected?
Exactly, and actually, and we know that the Public Works Supervisor will verify the placement of the shed, Public Works Supervisor.
I think discussion was around children going to school, using that as an effect.
Yes. Obviously, public right-of-ways, we don't allow anybody to build on right-of-ways. Okay, all in favour? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Brian and Tanya Barry to construct a patio 1719 Kings Lane, South East. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
This is a family member.
Okay, Councillor Thomas Powers declared conflict due to a family matter.
Council approved the application for Patrick Power to construct a residential extension at 2426 Harbour Drive, Dunville. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Please. Yes.
Council approved the application for Marie Hand to construct 2 decks at 6 Riverside Drive, Placentia. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the application for Harold Foley to construct a shed at number 6 Humphrey Street, Jersey Side. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Council approved the application for Chantel's Beauty Room to operate a hair salon at number 26 Lake Road, Dunville. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Not excused for this one.
Councillor Hines declared excused due to conflict, family matter.
Council approved the application for Newfoundland Clean Windows to operate a window cleaning business in the Placentia area. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Number 10, council approved the application for Luke Griffin Lannon to develop a cottage on Crown Land near Chimney Pond. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions?
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, I thought too. No, Councillor Collins raised her hands. Councillor Collins. Any questions? Moved by the deputies, second by Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Number 11, there was we were waiting on supporting documents. There was no supporting documents received on the compensation, asked of the town, but there was no supporting documents, so we're not going to defer that one. And there was one deferred that had some information actually come in after the fact, and I have it right here. So council approved the application of Bonnie Toll to construct a residence at Lot 30 Morrissey Place pending confirmation that the developer has installed proper water and sewer services and road accessibility for emergency services. Developer is responsible for all costs for connection to town services. So moved.
Just Deputy Mayor, did 3 more, it says here, single.
Lot number 3 in Morrissey Lane.
3, okay, I think it said 30 in there.
Oh, sorry, so it is lot number 3.
3. Okay,
We
so,
had some questions around, some questions about, when we were in our committee meetings, about the service connection. So what we're saying is that all that's in place, confirmation from the developer is there. And we would,
we'll just get the motion at the table. First moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins. Now, any questions? Deputy Mayor, if you'd like to.
well, we did have some questions with regards to if the liabilities in our committee meeting about, if, we're connected to town service. So this is only to prove that once it's verified by our public works superintendent, that the water, the sewer, the road accessibility, and the connection is paid for by the developer. So everything has to be in place. So that way they get this in, they can move ahead with the permit.
It's approval pending on the
Exactly.
acceptance from the public works superintendent. Okay, any other questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
That's it for, other than that, there has been some paving done throughout the town. There is a little bit more to be done. I think council has spent up to date over $50,000 on paving infrastructure upgrades as we continue each year doing certain amounts, and certainly has been done a good job in the areas. The Husky water usage, right now everything is good. The public works supervisor is monitoring water levels. We've had lots of rain in the last while, and the pond is doing quite well, so that will be keep monitored. Street sweeping and line painting. Street sweeping has started today, so that is, you're in the process of doing that. I believe the line painting will be next week. I know that the contractor has been delayed a bit with the weather and the rain, so I think next week he's tentatively looking at this area from correcting that up. Yep. And we went through our budget, and everything is on track and looking good for our budget update. And other than that, there wasn't much there. There were some sign requirements that the town was not responsible for, and some other payment to be done when English is on the road.
Okay,
Other than that, that's it.
thank you, Deputy Mayor. Move on to the Public Safety Committee report.
Mayor, can I just ask a question? When the line meetings, we're doing the project,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that was in the budget as well.
And just a note on that, we also, when we done the paving, we added an extra disability space at the arena. So there's an extra disability space with the pavement, and that will be painted once the lines are done also. So that was one of the requests come in the winter from residents, and we felt that was definitely something that needs to be done.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Good job indeed. Okay, move on to the Public Safety Committee report. Councillor Collins.
Public Safety Committee met on June 12th. President was myself, Councillor Collins Power, and Councillor Jane Hines was absent. Staff members, it was Public Works Superintendent Adam Green, Kathy Duke reporting. We had some discussion at our meeting, and we're still finding that our speed radar reports are indicating that our speeds are still up. Radar number 1 is posted at the entrance of Dungo, which has an average of 8,273 vehicles per week, with approximately 81% vehicles exceeding the posted speed limits. Radar number 2, which is posted at Brecker Drive, has an average of 972 vehicles per week, with approximately 43% of the vehicles exceed posted speed limits. Radar number 3, which is posted at Bruley Avenue, which is up by the hospital, has an average of 4,495 vehicles per week, with approximately 30% of the vehicles exceeding the speed limit. One of our radar signs are down, and we're in the process of getting a quote for repairs. So hopefully we'll have that back up and on the go in the next couple of weeks. Also, the RCMP policing report is in. We reviewed that. We receive this every month from the RCMP detachments. Also, street signs. We're looking at purchasing some signs. We're just trying to get some quotes now on signs, children at play, school zones, crossing, maximum speed, etc. So hopefully in the next little while now we'll have our quotes, so we'll be back and we'll be able to move forward with that. We're also looking at posting a no littering sign at the entrance of Dunville. We're gonna receive some permission for that. So that's about it for our report. But before I finish, I want to remind people that street sweeper is out this week, and he's going to be going around. So just to make sure that everybody's aware that he's in the town and he's going to be going around. So that's about it for my report.
Thank you, Councillor Collins. Any questions on Public Safety Committee? We'll move on to Culture and Tourism Committee report. Councillor Hines.
Thank you. We met on June 4th. In attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Kay Smith, and Councillor Noel Collins, who I have regret to that. I do believe you were working. And Rhonda Power was the manager of Tourism Marketing and Communications, and Anita O'Keefe was the tourism assistant reporting. And welcome back to Anita for this next little while anyway. Great to have her back. We have 2 recommendations. One I do believe was already looked after in the Finance Committee. That's the recommends the $1,000 community partnership contribution to the courthouse gun plaque project. The Legion have been working with Ms. Power and stuff, and Ms. O'Keefe. It was great information on that. That's the German gun that was from played in front of the courthouse. So it's very important. We have a lot more information in your packages if anyone's interested in getting the history of that or why we'll bring that money to it. Just thank you to the Finance Committee for putting that forward. Second recommendation we have was brought up already by the Deputy Mayor. We, as you know, we're already in the wayfinding project, and we're looking at getting the beach road to match the rest of the. We either have to have funding for the Todd signage or our own signage, and the difference is a couple $1,000, but really it would pay for itself because we have to renew the Todd signage every year.
Can you explain just what the Todd signage is?
Todd signs are those big, large signs you'll see on the highway that really just have, they're just long.
Provincial government.
Provincial signs, yes. And they're actually a bit too big for the beach road because they'd have to go up on the walkway as well. So they will make an exception because of the speed limit on the beach road, as well as because of the size of the side of the road, that we actually can put our own signage on it. So I think it's valuable, it's consistent, it shows our boardwalk is there, so we really should include it. So we do have a recommendation to put forward on that. And we recommend the Finance Committee to approve, or our council to approve $4,200 plus HST to have our town brand signs on Veterans Way.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second. Councillor Smith. Any questions? Councillor Fitzpatrick.
Has the committee looked at their budget to identify where that will come out of the budget?
Yeah, we're on budget, on task for a lot of things. we actually asked for an update on our budget at the last meeting to include where some of this money would come from. Because we're cutting back on some of the expenses around Canada Day and some of the other things to budget for, we think this is so important, we want to do this, so we're making wiggle room within our budget to do that. There was already approval for the signage, for the tile signage, and again, it would be only like it cost, I think, about $1,200 for the tile signage. So it's really, and we have to renew that every year and a half, every 2 years.
Just a point, Councillor Hines, from the finance report, it was suggested to take 2,200 from community events, 2,000 from advertising to cover costs. So the finance committee identified in the budget, yes, so it won't be a budget item, right?
Right.
That was identified from the finance committee.
And it's also our bilingual signs as well, so that's a key component in our communication.
So in finance, we reviewed it, that was one of the things we talked about, was where was coming from your budget. And that was our recommendation back to your committee around these are possible areas that you could look at.
Right.
And we're not saying you have to take take it out of your budget, maybe there are areas that you could look at it.
Right.
It was, as long as it's in your budget,
Right,
and coming from your budget.
We're gonna make it work coming from our budget because, in the last meeting, we made some decisions on expenditures that we're not gonna go ahead with to put money towards that.
Okay, so just for the record, it has been identified the finance chair, we're going to fund it in the budget, and the committee is satisfied with that, and the motion is on the table. Any other further discussion on this? Yes, okay. I call the question. All in favor? Motion carried. Anything else, Councillor Hines?
Voices 2019 update. Again, we're welcoming back Nita O'Keefe, who's a great asset for that. We have our students back on for Prevention 350, they're confirmed. And we're just doing the last final scheduling of actually what's happening during. It's a little different this year that we don't have the Laval reunion, but we're expecting to have still a full, a little bit more economical Voices schedule, and that should probably go out in the next month anyway. But the dates are for a Saturday and Sunday in August. I think it's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Yeah. So we have lots of things, including for the kids and stuff as well. We're still looking for host families for the Irish visitors. And you can call the council or call Anita or call anybody, call me if you're interested in hosting a family. Our Canada celebration, fireworks were approved and they're ordered and being stored at the fire hall. We have Canadian Heritage funding for that. One of the areas that we are saving in this year, because we had such a big event last year, we're still having a big event, but it's a little bit less of an event because we're actually not going to have karaoke or a concert or anything. We're having music. And so we're saving on setting up the stage and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's a little bit economical for this year, but there's still the fantastic flyer display, and it's a little bit less on the entertainment side. Wayfinding project is going full force ahead, and the tenders have been awarded, and the startup meeting is taking place already. By late August, everything should be in place, so we're really looking at getting it. And I saw some makeups that it's absolutely gorgeous, and everyone's going to be pleased with it. Summer staff are back on, I do believe, and we're looking forward to getting the Fort Louis area a bit more work done this year with our public works crew and our summer workers. So over the next busy summer coming up for culture and tourism.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hines. Any further questions? Move on to the Recreation Committee report. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
The Recreation Committee met on June 5th, and in attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Lorraine Collins-Power, and Deputy Pearson. Manager of Recreation and Community Program, Lord Pike, was in attendance, as well as Catherine Smith as recorder. The first recommendation actually that was in the package, we will not be looking for due to changes in circumstances. First recommendation that we have is committee recommends that the executive hire an employee for the summer maintenance position. That was also dealt with at the executive
committee level, so we won't be putting that one forward either. The rest of the recommendations from the committee around the clock upgrades and the release of the funds to the Freshwater Community Center have also been dealt with. So the committee has no recommendations at this time. The completion of the 6th dressing room was on schedule, and my understanding is that this past week that there's been changes in the 6th dressing room update. The 6th dressing room being redone. We looked at the energy consumption of the arena, given that we've been a year in operation and seen what the energy efficiency around the lighting was. There were significant kilowatt usage decreases that we're glad to report.
Was there any information, numbers that you can give us on that?
It should be in the package.
Because obviously with the expenditure of the lights, we were anticipating a reduction in energy cost, and hopefully, obviously, it should do it. LED lighting from all conventional lighting.
No, I say it's not that great.
I have extra glasses.
Do you?
Yes.
So in March 2019, total kilowatts used was 72,960, while in 2018 it was 77,520. So it's about 5,000
Kilowatts
in
per-
difference
From 1 month alone.
from 1 month alone. So in February it was 88,000 and a bit, and of 2018, and 2019 was 82,000. So that's 6,000 kilowatts less. So as we make more energy efficient improvements in that facility and other facilities around the town, we'll see greater savings
Good.
with the amount of kilowatts.
Thank you very much. Architecture 49, maybe you can just give an update because they.
So Architect 49 had a public meeting around the Wellness Center and has invited a variety of local groups in the area to gain some input around the needs and wants of residents of the town with respect to the Wellness Center. And there's been a lot of good feedback around that. So Architect 49 now held a public consultation in addition to their key stakeholder sessions with specific groups on June the 6th. And they're now gone away looking at and compiling that information, and will then begin to establish some of the information around things to be presented back to council for to include in the Wellness Center. The slash tender did go out, and I know that was at the executive level.
Okay, maybe just a point here because we did have the splash pad and there was some questions of asking for a tender to be done.
Right.
And there was an evaluation process. However, they were looking for a motion to approve the expenditure, and there was actually recommendation went off to the splash pad committee to give us rationale right in their tendering. So based on the rationales and explanation involved, the committee is recommending to the committee to award, and probably will ask for a motion from the floor to award to the successful bidder as recommended by the committee. Is everybody understanding this? Good to go? Which was actually, I think the recommending is for AB, not sure.
ABC.
ABC, believes this, okay. So maybe if you'd like to make a motion to award the splash pad tender based on the recommendation of the committee.
So we recommend that council approve the award of the splash pad tender to ABC Recreation as per
Recommendation. of the committee.
recommendation from the committee.
Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick. We get a seconder to the motion. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Some other things that are going on is the age-friendly fair was a success again this year with the recreation being having a booth there. The softball season is started this week, and the registration is complete and fields are now being prepared. There's also a ladies' league that's starting, and they're going to play on Tuesdays and Sunday evenings. I don't recall the exact time right now, but the manager, I'm pretty sure, is going to post that or has posted that on the Facebook site of times. There's also a walking group that's forming within the town that's going to meet on Wednesdays at 6:30. The last conversation that I had with members that are involved with trying to form that walking group is they weren't sure of the location of where they were going to meet, but they were thinking possibly the arena for their first meeting on Wednesday, so tomorrow night. And I will, maybe we could ask the manager of recreation to get confirmation on the location of that for more. It's confirmed.
They had their meeting.
Yep.
So they're going to be meeting Thursdays, 6 o'clock, starting at the boardwalk. And rainy days, we're going to be in the arena.
Okay, so obviously any information that we're going to be involved in here would be nice to get posted to the town's website so that residents can avail of this information as well, right? Okay. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
There was something else that just came to my mind. Oh, the other piece is the fitness area. Through the summer, staff that's working with the Tourism Culture Committee, and they'll provide some access to the fitness center from 9 to 12 on Mondays to Fridays. We still don't have evening access, but we're working on it.
Okay, so again, if it's going to be open, make sure that it's advertised well under the town's website. Okay, and maybe we could keep a logbook as well, just to see the utilization.
Yes, there is a lot of them.
Thank you. Any other questions for Recreation Committee?
I got one.
Deputy Mayor.
Even though I'm on the committee, some program, the manager stated that Patty will be using Laval for her base program this year. I know Patty had committed to doing some monitoring of the fitness room. Can we confirm that they are still, now that their employees are not going to be at the arena's not the home base, confirm that they're still going to be able to put out some evening sessions and stuff for the general public through Patty, to the workers, like as if they were using the arena as if they're going to use it for certain days anyway. So just confirm that that is still a goal, because that was agreed upon, but that was under different circumstances and different time.
I'm not understanding you, Deputy Minister.
So the summer recreation program is, in the past, we've used the arena on rainy days and things like that. They're actually using the Laval gym as their home base, which is not a bad thing, because the access to the equipment there, and then you've got the green space and the soccer field is there, and you still have a short walk to the softball fields. And I had a conversation with the manager of recreation to confirm that as well, and my understanding that that is confirmed, that they will still be providing. But I will double check that.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Move on to Community Engagement and Communications Report. Councillor Collins Power.
Our committee met on May 7th, and in attendance was myself as chair, Councillor Collins, as well as Councillor Fitzpatrick in attendance. With regard to staff, our resource person was, recorder was Catherine Smith. We discussed a couple of items, and we just have one recommendation that came out of our last meeting after a discussion. We are recommending that council release the $6,000 in funding to the PBIS as budgeted.
Is that motion in? We already had a motion on the floor of 19095. We moved at the last meeting that the pending inclusion of the free public session is adopted. That motion was moved and carried. Is that something different? Yes. Right? No, it was, motion, 19-09, and I meant the question earlier, was that something that was a follow-up? Motion be resolved, the motion to approve the release by Councillor Speed and Councillor Fitzpatrick to approve release of $6,000 to be the Placentia Chamber of Commerce Placentia Bay Industrial Showcase pending inclusion of a free public session is adopted. Carried, and all voted in favor. Motion 19-0195. So
So how does that,
are we going to, like,
Well, after
is
we-
the, are we not including the public session?
yeah,
Is that the
so right
intent?
now it's just gonna be us release the funds.
Okay, so would we ask them to,
Yeah.
well, we'd have to make a motion to rescind first motion. Okay, so if you're gonna do that, the motion to rescind motion number 19-095. Okay, that'd be a first recommendation, so
Okay.
if when you do that, we'd have to rescind it, and then a new motion would have to be made after. Because there is a motion table that was approved.
I thought we deferred. Okay, so, yeah, motion to rescind the motion 19-095.
Okay, move to rescind the motion, right? Moved by Councillor Power, second Councillor Collins. Any questions?
Anybody can rescind that vote, don't have to be people who made
No, you can rescind the motion. I don't believe it says to be, a motion is a motion, and you can move to rescind.
And if the motion's in
Yes.
progress, it would have to be adapted to the person who made the motion.
So it's rescinded by, actually, the motion is made by Councillor Sweet, second by Councillor Fitzpatrick. The motion to rescind that motion is made by Councillor Power and Councillor Collins. Any questions?
Well, I got questions because we said and talked about that, and one of the stipulations that we were going to have a public session, whether it be an hour somewhere along the line for people to come in and walk through and to see what it was about. I believe that if people are at the trade school, for example, and they have students and they want to walk through, that they could walk through. I know it's not a place for the public to walk through because a lot of stuff is industrial, but I thought one of the things that we agreed on was that we would make that available to the public and use that as stipulation. So I guess what we're saying now is that we're changing the stipulation of allowing money, because we did say if it didn't follow through, then we look at the funding for next year. So when we look at next year, if it didn't follow through on what we asked, the money that we're putting forward. So it's just like I said, that there were questions, and at the time, that's what we agreed upon, and I guess if we're rescinding the motion, that's fine. But these were questions that were talked about, debated, and answered, so anyway.
In our committee, we had discussed that, because I'm speaking for myself, I wasn't aware of how the PBIS was set up. It's actually focused for businesses, and businesses pay a fee to get into that facility. So our discussion was, we really feel that it's not, certainly it would be nice for trade school people to see the businesses, but it's not meant to be a career fair and not only that, we don't know why people want to get into the facility, but the business people that are there are there to network. So they're not there to take resumes or anything like that, but certainly my thought on it too was that if people get a hold of the town and let them know what they're interested in, maybe we could do something with the Chamber of Commerce and see in the future what we could have a career fair for business. This particular one is geared toward businesses networking with other people in the community. I don't know if anybody would get any benefit from the sessions personally.
Yeah, I guess the discussion surrounded that, we're expending $6,000 of taxpayers' money towards this event. And because the event would be actually closed, I also see there were suggestions of an open session prior to the official opening of the event for 1 hour with no admission fee, which again, to give people there who just actually be able to partake in it. Was there no?
We tried that, and we reached out to the chair, I guess, of the committee, and their vendors or their participants aren't set up the night before. So we were hoping kind of a sneak peek thing that people could come the night before, have a walkthrough, have a look, see what kind of businesses are setting off and networking in the area. But their business people don't come till the following morning. So that was kind of we couldn't go with that option. And as for, talk about our money being spent, the town also provides money to different organizations within the town. Age Friendly, you have to pay to get into Age Friendly Fair. You have to pay to get into the museum. There's nothing really free per se, I guess, that we do fund. And this particular seminar, you know, in all fairness to the business owners, they pay quite a chunk of money to get together with their counterparts and network, and for us to say, come on in, it's free, it's not really overly fair to those businesses to say, come in, it's,
I don't think the intent, Councillor Power, was actually to get in for free.
I don't mean free, but even offer up a
But
session.
but
or,
previous
you know.
sessions of the PBIS, I've made the visit to PBIS on numerous occasions. You know, when it first initiated, there was a session there that people could just walk in and view the displays or the stands, whatever the case may be, not taking the sessions or the whole convention or the conference. And, you know, I think the discussion surrounding at the last meeting when we made that was actually to give an avenue that if somebody wanted to, there would be a session there, not to partake in the sessions, not to be big out there, but just to visibly go in and look at the display booths, because, you know, maybe companies like Husky or maybe Newfoundland Power or maybe somebody else may have there, and just give them an experience to be able to go in and see the potential out there.
My understanding of the setup is that it's
Previously-
not set up that way.
But previously, in the beginning, it was permitted, and now it's not permitted. And that's the only concern I had. Why did it change?
Well, things evolve, Mayor, over time. There's lots of events and conferences. This is a corporate event. And in many cases, municipalities have become corporate sponsors. And I think when we looked at that as from the committee's standpoint, is that we were now a corporate sponsor within this event, of promoting economic activity and networking business opportunities for the businesses within our municipality, both locally as well as those that are looking to do business within the municipality and with people in the municipality, is the way that we look at it. There's lots of events that municipalities sponsor that they don't have public access to. This is a specific event around corporations and businesses for networking and identifying opportunities to partner to bring more economic activity into the region. And it's, we have recommended that we rescind the motion and put the new motion in.
Okay, so obviously, we're giving up the subject. The first part is the,
Got one more
rescinding the
quick
motion,
comment
the
before we
motion.
rescind the motion? One quick comment. We're talking about businesses. There's a lot of business in this community that probably can afford to go to the POAS and pay the amount that they're paying. Even the business community could walk in and do this networking. Why can't they have an hour to walk around and see what's on the go that they might be able to
Well, I
avail?
think at that point, they should be reaching out to the Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
those businesses for that.
again, I guess the point is
It's not
that,
always up to us to police, are you a business, are you just someone else going to look around,
you know, I think one time there's a lot of information to be relayed here. One time it was actually the town just gave the arena, then it was actually a change back and forth, and then it got to actually a contribution and the arena itself. And hopefully, do we charge a rental on the property? We charge rental.
$600 a day.
Pardon?
$600 a day.
So we charge $600 and we make a contribution of $6,000. So we're at $5,400. Anyway, I guess everybody had a chance to speak on the motion. Anybody never spoke on the rescinding that would like to speak? So I'll ask Carl for the question. All those in favor to rescind the motion of 1909-5 to release the 6,000 committed to Placentia Area Chamber of Commerce Placentia Bay Industrial Showcase pending inclusion of a free public session be adopted. Call for the question. All in favor? Those against? Motion carried. 4 to 5 to 2. Okay, so we'll move forward. You want to make the motion to,
Now we do the motion on the table for today, right?
yes,
So our recommendation is that council release the $6,000 in funding to the PBIS as budgeted.
moved by Councillor Collins Power, second. Councillor Collins, any questions?
I have a quick comment. I just want to make it clear that I am not against the money to go to the chamber. The $6,500, I voted for that money to release the chamber.
$6,000 then.
$6,000. And, you know, as we spoke before, so like I said, I'm not against that, so, what, you know, just want to make that clear on the record.
And I guess, you know, Deputy, from the same point is that, yes, the show is great and it's good, and when you bring something into your community that's business oriented, whatever, my opinion, you know, it doesn't in the past it was permitted that. And, you know, I feel that, yes, there should be an avenue there sometime, not to interfere with the commons, but you could make available. I've been to conferences with Skills Canada, other things there, and schools were actually, given part of their business sessions to actually come in and become physically see actually the operations going on. And it's right.
I fully agree, and it's taxpayers' money, but it's for economic development, and I think I was talking about it earlier, when we first talked about it. But the thing is, we're not saying public students shouldn't have access to something like this, but not this exactly. There needs to be something else on the chamber, as well as the chamber probably needs to reach out and contact the smaller businesses who know the benefits of that, and they should be able to have an access to it as well. But for us to kind of pull the purse strings to force someone that shouldn't be there to be there is very, I think, was a smart thing for us to do that.
Okay. Right, everybody had a chance to speak. Call for the question. All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah,
Any
just
other
a couple more,
questions?
just a couple more, a couple more items. Our community consultation will be on June 26th. I believe we're scheduled at 7. We post that we post it around. But also at our last couple of committee meetings, and I believe at our last council meeting, we discussed that would also have a component where we dedicate part of that session regarding the Calvin project. But after our meeting, our committee meeting on the 7th, we have decided that we're going to have that be a separate, because it's such a big item, we're going to have that be a separate consultation in the fall, rather than combine it with our current beautification consultation on the 26th. So there'll be more information to follow on that.
Okay, and also in keeping on your consultation process, I would suggest to recommend, we had some concern from the Route 100 committee on, our capital works project. And I feel that maybe we should actually include a consultation session in the fall, actually, of our capital works projects. And the capital works projects for all of the municipality, and outline the projects that we have, ongoing, and the ones that we have perceived in the future to be there, so that we can actually outline the capital works project. I believe the numbers, it's approximately $30 million in capital projects that we have identified to outline the priority and the plan that's actually been there, and avail the public that's actually to show that there is a plan in place and that we are trying to move forward. And however, like any plan, things are subject to change based on new things that may come up to be. But again, I think we need a public session for the public to actually outline the capital expenditures that we are looking at and the plans that we're trying to get done. So as the committee to consider that.
Just another couple of items. Our cleanup campaign, we had the Special Olympics and Sparks group participated in the group as a group and helped in our cleanup, and we appreciate their work, and we had a couple of prizes for them for their efforts in contributing to beautifying the town, and also to thank everybody who were involved with that. It's an ongoing, it's not just a one-day thing, it's an ongoing battle, but these people are getting out and taking the time to care for the property and around town. As well, the Mayor's March will be coming up again in September, so we will be registering for that, and we're going to suggest to hopefully work with the new walking group to do something for that. But there'll be more information to come.
Thank you very much. And again, based on the cleanup campaign, yes, congratulations and thank you to all those that participated. A lot of the volunteers certainly helped us clean up a lot of the refuse. It's disheartening to say the least that, while we clean a particular street, the following day, there's more refuse dumped there. So I would encourage, people to take ownership, and if they recognize or if they see somebody else doing that, to point out that, it's not acceptable and we're trying to keep the town clean. It's very, very disheartening to see, us having workers out there cleaning up the ditches, cleaning up the sides of roads and refuse, and shortly later it's being littered again. And, again, with the RCMP, hopefully they'll start levying some offences for this as well, because it is an offence. Any questions for communication and engagement? Hearing none, move on to correspondence. So we've had some correspondence from from Route 100 committee, which has been circulated to council again with the request about the capital works improvements and the infrastructure. The next project which was approved is awarded to NJ Hickey, the last one. I believe that's starting very soon, the 1st of July, Mr. Green, I believe. Right? I think there was a pre-meeting today or this week to discuss the startup. It's approximately 37 days construction period. That's going to see the line continued from the end of Dublin towards the Clarkspan pump house. We have approvals and we have applications into the provincial government, and it's forwarded off, for consideration for an additional $2.6 million, which would complete the connection and as well connect the ponds from up in the backlands through the Clarkspan. And this will actually give Dublin the connection and the tie-in to the clean different water level or source. We're still anticipating, positive results from the provincial on this. So hopefully it's only delayed due to the election process. And we've been lobbying again to try to get confirmation. Some line painting. Again, we have reached out to provincial government to start up the ferry service with the line painting. Marine Atlantic coming in. We'd rather see the line painting and everything done now rather than wait till the end of the season. So we've actually reached out to the government as well to try to get this provincial matters work being completed now before the start of the tour season. I believe the first ferry starts the 23rd or the 22nd of June. So. Okay. Anything else on our correspondence? Okay. Just a couple of items that were missed. We need to amend the motion for the motion number 19003, which was for the $395,000 boring for us for our portion of the Clarkspan project I just referred to in Dublin. So the town's portion is $395,000. However, government has changed some of their requirements in the motion. It needs to outline the bank that we're borrowing the money from and the terms and the amortization, etc. So we need to amend the motion 1903 to be resolved that the amendment of motion 19-003 to read that council approves the borrowing from the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce in the amount of $395,130 for a 12-year term and a 12-year amortization at a floating rate at the time of final advance, representing the 20% municipal share of the funding for Clarkspan connection to Dublin projects number 17 MYCW-18-000042 and number 17 SCF-19-00129 is adopted. Motion to approve. Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried. Now we'll go around the table. Other business of councillors. Councillor Lyons.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize that on Friday is National Indigenous Peoples Day, and we should kind of just recognize that. We're on land originally occupied by the Beothuk. We have Pride. June is Pride month, and traditionally here at Placentia we kind of did it in a little bit of a warmer month. So we're going to do it, I think pretty sure it's mid-July, am I correct, Ms. Howard? We will be hanging our Pride flag. We'll change where we flew last year to accommodate our neighbours, and we'll have our sidewalk paint by then as well, so we'll be able to do that. But this is traditionally Pride month. Canada Day celebrations is July 1st. Again, it's a little bit more relaxed atmosphere of it this year. It's still going to have music ahead of time, and it's July 1st, weather permitting, and it's going to be down by the bridge. And that way you can see it from most everywhere. Just be careful if you're hanging out on the water over in Jersey side and in Placentia, the tides are, watching your little ones. Other than that, I think we've everything covered.
Thank you, Councillor Hunt. So are we gonna make sure that this information is there as well to the public?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just on that, I've been looking and seeing, and there's been asking out there, even from some business people, because it seems like we do a lot in the communication. Maybe the committee or something could look at, one of those, digital signs or something be displayed there, or something that we can control in some way there to be able to, I'm just thinking something by the bridge. Everybody seems to pass by the bridge because if it's not working or not functioning or up, it certainly doesn't take long for traffic. But even just a sign there, like one of those digital signs to give awareness, like Canada Day celebrations today, or just something stuff on there, I don't know, maybe we can.
Really part of the landscape over it.
Okay, but it works, I'm just saying, maybe onto the bridge itself, I'm not sure, just.
Yeah, something.
But again, I'd like to see something, maybe the communities can come up with something there, I guess as not an awareness sign, but, a notification sign, to let people know that today this is happening, Because it seems like we have a lot of events, and there's times, I know I spoke to several residents that, with the public meeting at the 8:49, and we had to know we would have seen it, but we didn't really realize, because it seems like, our advertising mode is great, and to me, again, we can never advertise, you can never do enough to promote and do something. So maybe just something, that we should consider in getting something in the sign there that accessible or whatever, right? So, like maybe a location, because again, it could be based on the committee, right? So I just asked if you consider it. Okay. Thank you, Councillor Collins.
Got a couple of things, just reminding the public schools out next week, and, you're going to see kids out around, going in around, so just asking the people to be aware, drivers to be aware of the kids outside. Also, I'm asking the public to just continue to clean up your properties. We're still working, June is a cold month, and I, for one, I'd rather just be out in the sun than having to be out in the chill, so just asking people to continue to clean up their properties. It's looking good, so we still got some areas we got to tweak up, but we can work on it. Also, I'm questioning if the bridge was swept. I didn't know is it swept? Okay, just because I mentioned that last month. And also, I know that Mrs. Gear is out of the hospital and continuing to get well at home, so I'm just sending out well wishes to Miss Gear. Finds it different here without her. Usually she's, you're getting something from her, but it's, I just wish her, send her lots of well wishes from myself and the rest of the council, and that's it.
Thank you, Councillor Collins. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
Just reiterate what Councillor Collins said around the children are getting out of school next week, and the evenings are longer and nicer, so there's a lot more kids that are out on their bikes and walking and going fishing. I've seen a lot of activity this year down in the regatta grounds for fishing, more than I've seen in years gone by. So just be conscious of those areas and around playground areas where the children will be going to participate in some of the recreation activities.
Okay. Thank you very much. Deputy Mayor.
Just one thing, you mentioned one of the radar signs down, is that the one going into London? I drove by it for a week and I didn't pick it up right away. I don't know if that was one, you can have a look at that.
It's working today.
Was it? Okay. That's good. The other thing, I'd just like to thank all the staff. As you know, the Miss Garrett down, we do wish her well. And some of the staff that has been here picking up the slack with the management and staff inside and everybody else outside and whatever. I'd just like to thank them for stepping up and performing duties outside what they normally do and stepping up and helping them. So thank you there.
Hey, Councillor Smith.
I would just like to let you know about our celebrations down here in our church this weekend, starting June 23rd. So it's an anniversary of the church and Sunday Corpus Christi. So we're having the Mass at 11 o'clock, followed by a session of all the local groups are invited, Mill, March, and what we call Nunjar. And then there's a barbecue after and games and then for cake so everybody's welcome.
Okay, when is it? June 23rd?
That's this Sunday.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Collins Power.
I just had a couple items. I attended the RCACC Celeste Connect Quarter end of year, I guess, celebrations or banquet, and I offered greetings on behalf of the town. And there certainly is there are a lot of young people coming up the ranks there, and it's a really good program, so I congratulate them on their hard work and their dedication. As well, Councillor Collins had said summer children are getting out of school, so just wish them a safe summer and congratulate the grads and wish them luck in next year. The Age Friendly, I attended that. I was on the registration table for a little bit there one day, and there certainly was a lot of local parents coming with their grandkids who weren't from the area, so it was good to see not just our local residents were involved with it, but they were really enjoying, I think, the different activities that they had there, so it was good to see. And again, from what I understand, and I believe our workers, our cleanup crew are finished this week, so I just wanted to thank them for their work over the last few weeks, and it's too bad we can't have them all the time, or, hopefully there'll come a time maybe we won't need them and people will clean up after themselves, but thank them for their work, and it definitely was noticed, so I just wanted to say thank you to them, and that's all from me.
Thank you very much. Other than that, no further business. Call for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Downs. Meeting adjourned.